President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is 71 today, and come May the 29th, he will be officially sworn in as the president. From being a former Lagos State governor to being the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, he has proven himself as a great manager of resources, and after years of mentoring and grooming political leaders, a biopic titled The Last Man Standing has been released to allow Nigerians learn about the man who promises to move Nigeria forward. But joining us via Zoom to discuss more about the film is the president of Sodium Marketing, Abisoye Fagade. Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Yeah, good morning. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Good morning.
Now, let's begin this way. Historically, there are several relevant personalities you could have chosen from to make a film about. But talk to us about Last Man Standing. Why the choice of Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Well, thank you very much for that question. I'll ask, why not? I think in our generation, Asiwaju is the best pathfinder in our generation. And if you profile people in Nigeria today, by the time you count 1 to 10, you realize that Asiwaju is one of the prominent Nigerians, one of the leaders of the leaders. And it's also unfortunate these days that history is not being taught in school. So we thought that it's a way of putting his life, his style, the soft skills that he has into documentary for generations to come, and sharing from things that he has done. It's important that we put it on the record. That's one of the reasons why we took Asiwaju. And the producer of this movie has done some biopic about some other people that were not involved. I personally got involved in Asiwaju's case because he's been a mentor from afar, and it's somebody who I like his style of leadership. So that's why, put it that way.
All right, share with us, basically, was Asiwaju involved in any process of making this film, either directly or indirectly? Can you share that with us?
Well, the funny thing is that Asiwaju is not even aware of the movie. He didn't even know when the script was written. He has no knowledge of the movie. Asiwaju, as we were today, has not even seen the movie. This is just like, let me put it this way, like the youth these days, when they fall in love with one of their stars, they put their tattoo on their body. That is me taking the initiative of writing a movie about somebody I feel that should be celebrated before he even departs this world. So Asiwaju is not aware of the movie. He didn't take part in any part of the movie. He has not done anything to influence the movie in any way.
Now let's talk about commercial success of this biopic, because we know that biopics about persons who are alive do not necessarily make commercial success. But do you think perhaps that this will change that narrative?
Well, as a businessman, I think yes, it will. And as a Yoruba man, people always say, if you allow me to speak in Yoruba, they say, I would want to define this case. I feel that people should be celebrated while they are alive. Let them see their times and their path in the world before they leave. In this case, Asiwaju any way is a marketable entity. So this is going to be a different ballgame entirely in terms of commercial aspect. And also, I feel that it's something that we need to put on record while he's alive, and you can say, okay, yes, this happened, yeah, that happened, and this is going to make a lot of difference to what you just said now.
All right, we see some celebrities of Nollywood in the movie and all of that. Can you share with us what informed your decision in the casting of the characters of the movie?
Well, I've been the executive producer of the movie. I left the casting entirely to professionals to do. And I'll just pick one of them, which is Lateef Adedeji, Abi Adedimeji. He's a professional to the core, and from every role that he has been given to do, he has delivered to the last letter. And what the casting crew did was fully professional. They profiled everybody based on the character in the movie. And if you go and watch it, you agree with me that they did a job well done.
All right. Talk to us about perhaps challenges you faced while making this movie. Did you, in any form or way, have any hurdle you had to cross to perhaps achieve this last man standing biopic?
Just like did every other thing in Nigeria, there are always challenges. The initial challenges that the producer, which is Sean Ologeti, faced was finance, which we stepped in and solved that for him. Other challenges were actually they are normal challenges anybody would face, like in Nigeria, trying to get some documents, trying to get some references, and in all of that, we're able to scale all those orders because we're working with professionals. So we always have plan A, plan B, plan C. And more importantly, towards the end of the shooting of the movie, we had a couple of issues with some people who felt that the biopic should not be shot, but we crossed that hurdle also. So more than any other thing, I think it was a very fair production.
All right, Asiwaju is president-elect, and just in about a few weeks, he'll be sworn in as president of the country, and
yes,
that is a new whole life altogether, with a new storyline, if I must say. But would there be a sequel to what you have started now?
Well, let's even push this one out first and see how it goes. But there would be. But the way the story was written in such a way that we left it open-ended. So you can choose your pick after that. We wrote the story in such a way that that can be, and we can choose to stop it there. And we didn't cover the part where it was growing up. All that part can be done later. So I would say yes.
Now, there are those who say stories like this are tools for propaganda and somewhat massaging the egos of persons. What do you say to such people?
Well, I would say if at this point we feel that we should massage the ego of Asiwaju, I think yes, it's worth it. That's not the reason why we did that initially, but at this point, for somebody who has gone through what he has gone through, is what clapping for, is what massaging his ego, is what telling him that well done, is what telling him that people are looking at you and we are cheering you on. If for that reason, I'll say yes, but that was not the initial reason. The initial reason was to just put something on the record before the man leaves this world that he has done well. But if you say, if people are entitled to their opinion, and I really don't feel that I need to change that, but I feel if at this point they think we are trying to massage his ego, it's worth it.
All right. The conceivement of this idea for this movie, I believe, didn't just start yesterday. Conceiving it, putting all of the plans together, and then the acting before the editing and packaging and all of that takes a whole lot of time. But did you have a foreknowledge that Asiwaju will emerge victorious eventually at the polls?
Well, maybe personally, maybe I'll say yes, but this movie was shot last year, February. Asiwaju was not even the developer at that time. So he was not even sure he was going to get the APC ticket. What I was all about at that time was whether Asiwaju won or not, he's a sellable candidate any day. So we didn't have any notion or whatever that he was going to be the president. But good thing that, it's not the president-elect, it's a good one.
Right. You've announced a May premiere of the film, and one is wondering why it is taking so long to premiere.
Well, Yeah, it's taking so long to premiere because of a lot of reasons. First and first, the post-production took a bit of time. Then second of it was last year was very eventful in a political scene. And all the stakeholders that would have wanted to see the movie were all busy politicking or doing some other things. So the process took a longer time after the shoot. So that's why, and we actually took our time to do the post-production. So it's worth waiting for.
All right. So where can people watch this? If because now that we're talking about this, of course, people will be looking forward to watching it. Where can people have access to watching it?
Yeah, they should look forward to watching this. After the official premiere, we are planning to put this in on the Netflix, put it in the cinema, even see how we can premiere it in schools. Because so by the time we are done with premiering, we'll be putting it in all those platforms, so it will be easy for people to access. And it's a movie that is there for all to see. So we'll make it accessible as much as possible.
Right. Just for better clarity and for persons who will be looking forward to watching this movie, give us an insight into those who worked rather on the project, especially the cast and crew.
Well, I would say we have a lot of Nollywood stars in that movie. We have, like I said, Steve, who played Ashwaj himself, Dave Kosoko, we have Benga Inka, we have Madame Kofo, just to mention a few. It's not a boring movie at all. It's it's a really enjoyable one.
All right. Were you at any time worried that there could be a backlash from the movie, considering how charged the political space has been, from the outcome of the build up to the election and then after the election? Did it cross your mind somewhere at a point that made you worry or had concerns regarding you having backlash from this project?
Flashback, telling somebody's story of what he has done. When your intentions are pure and clear, so you should be ready for the backlash. Because whatever it is that you do in life, people will always complain. They always have an opinion. So we're ready for the backlash.
Right.
And I don't think there have been backlash really.
Okay. We've seen some narrative leading up to the election with regards to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and even after the outcome. Do you think that perhaps this movie will begin to help people change some of the narrative that some young persons have about the person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Yes, and I would say that was a capital yes, because a lot of these young people did not even experience Asiwaju when he was a governor, so it's difficult for them to actually know the kind of person that he is, and to also understand the kind of ability and tenacity this man carries. So this movie would actually help them in a way. It's a soft way of selling Asiwaju to people, telling them the kind of person that he is and how he's been able to operate, meander the muddy politics of Nigeria. And after watching this movie, I'm sure a lot of them would sit back and say, oh, really? And we understand that Asiwaju is not the Asiwaju that's been painted to them. So I'll say yes.
All right. As it is, I wonder what lessons will be picked from this movie. Especially, you mentioned students earlier, be premiered, and then schools and all of that. But if we're talking about people who didn't witness the time he was governor, who were not old enough to understand the person that he is and he has been all the while, when they watch this movie, what are those lessons that they're going to pick from their when it comes to the life that that he is living, the way or the capacity that he deploys in his things?
There are a lot of lessons to pick from Asiwaju, and one of them is one that I will particularly speak about today is you have to stay focused. When you're going to the market, do not look at the noise of the market. Face what you are buying. Face the market who you are trading with. Your ability to stay focused, your ability to be able to have a vision and stick to it. Strategies might change along the line. It's important for you to have a clear understanding of where you're going to and focus on it. So I'll just talk about that one alone. There are so many things to learn from. There are not so many things to pick from Asiwaju. That's just one of it.
All right, we want to quickly just launch the trailer again for persons to see, and then we'll come back to continue our conversation.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear that as the governor of Lagos State,
but they are calling for your impeachment.
On what grounds is that?
This is certainly a Trojan horse.
Local Government Development Council approved? How did this happen?
Ẹ̀tọ́ àti ètò ló gbà ó. Láti ìgbà tí èmi ti wà ní màjèsín alájàpá ni mo ti rí gbogbo akitiyan àti wàhálà ìjọba lọ́rọ̀ ọjà.
If we need to protest, let's start protesting.
Pathologically obsessed with my husband. If my husband says, praise the Lord, I doubt if he will say hallelujah.
Saving this Lagos. Èkó yìí, tí kò gbọdọ̀ bàjẹ́ yìí, should be and will be the only priority. This feels like a direct.
Right, we still have Abisoye Fagade, President of Sodium Marketing, speaking with us about the biopic Last Man Standing. From the movie, we saw that his priority was about saving Lagos. Now that he is president-elect, what do you think, or what do you envisage he will do with regards to changing and shaping the narrative about Nigeria across the world and within Nigeria, looking at how he was able to manage the resources of Lagos State?
One thing you can't take away from this man called Asiwaju is the fact that he's a Nigerian and a Nigerian to the core, and a proud one at that. And from what I can see, is one person that I know would do some sort of reorientation for Nigerians in terms of if you don't respect your country, how would people respect you? So I know that, like you rightly said, he said from the first day he was to start running. Second day he will start running, he will keep running, he will not rest. And that's the kind of person that he is. If you've seen the kind of transformation he has brought to Lagos. And the way he works is he knows and understands how to hunt for talent, put the right square peg in a square hole, and he's not the type, he knows how to delegate, and he knows how to follow up. He knows how to build structure that can support the institutions that it's going to create. So I'm expecting a lot, and Nigerians will see the difference in how, when you put somebody who has been preparing to be president to when you put somebody who has brought to be president. Actually, they have been trying to present all this like what I got from what I've been seeing. So we'll see a lot of difference in that. I'm looking at a man who will manage the people, who is a big, bridge builder, who is a relationship manager, and understands how to shape his follower to deliver his goals.
All right. Now, I wonder, I'd like you to share with us when you all conceived this idea for this biopic and you reached out to some of these celebrities to be part of the cast. What was their response? How did they respond to you?
Some of them were scared, some were happy. It was a mixed feeling. And at the end of the day, we all agreed that it's a story worth doing. At that time, it wasn't doing this easy. Now he's the president-elect. At that time, he was not even president-elect. Nobody was sure he was going to even become the president at all. But everybody that was cast and crew did it for the history, not just because they knew he was going to be president. They do it because it is worth doing. So that overshadowed the mixed feeling of, I want to do it, how would people say, and all of that. They talked about what they were doing to humanity by actually giving their professional service to this movie.
All right, talk to us about the title, Last Man Standing. What informed the title of the biopic?
The obvious. The obvious. It's
Which
the
is?
Last Man Standing. Yeah. Because if you look at all the Southwest governor, with all due respect, still the last man standing. Look at his journey, the last man standing. Look at how he emerged as the president. For a man to have more people that voted against him and still become the president, still the last man standing. I think the title is, I said it all. So.
Okay. Now, would you share with us, because embarking on this project with the array of celebrities and all the props and all of them, and so on, of course, one would say that it came with a huge cost. Would you share, what did it cost you to put all of these together?
I would say an arm, but I still have my leg. It was a huge project, and I am back on the project because I felt it's worth it. I don't want to share figures because I don't feel it's right to start sharing figures here on this platform. But it cost the agency a fortune, but it's worth it.
Now, just quickly tell us how long it took you to perhaps put this project together and finish up, because some persons might feel like, okay, perhaps when he was named president-elect was when this project happened and all of it. So you give us that. And to also, if you could just quickly give us an insight into the intrigues, the suspense within the movie. Okay,
I spoke about the producer. I was actually the brain behind this. That's a person of Shonloke. He approached me sometime in 2021. I think it was June, July, that he had this project that he was looking for finance for. I was like, really? That wouldn't be a bad idea. At that time, I was thinking like a businessman. Okay, sure, yes, we can do the story. So between that time and December 2021, and they started shooting in 2022, February. So that was about 6 months of preparation, trying to do recce, trying to get this together. And the movie is not just about the suspense of the movie, it's about just digging into what Asiwaju did in the past. And we had we seasoned with a bit of comedy so that it won't be boring to people. People are in for a good time, but just watching the movie. So it took about almost 9 months before we could finish shooting, and from that time, I thought they finished the shooting around February, March, part of April, and we're here. It's almost 3 years now.
What was the most challenging part during the shoot in all of the process that you went through putting this together, shooting and all of that? What was the most challenging part for you?
The most challenging part, I think, would be for the star actor. who researched to the last, trying to get him to be Asiwaju, because being Asiwaju is not easy. Then the other challenging part was little challenges that you have in Nigeria, nothing major really. And I wouldn't say it's that easy, but I'm saying that just basic challenges. But it was easy doing this, and we didn't need support from anybody. Not even everything we created from scratch. So the big challenge that we had in the share of finance, which was resolved most immediately, we stepped in. So.
All right.
Aside from every other challenge that any producer will have, nothing major really.
All right, Abisoye Fagade, the president of Sodium Marketing, we must thank you for your time on the program.
May I just change that as in Sodium Group, just the marketing. The
All right.
marketing is just
Sodium
part
Group.
of what we do.
Thank you very much.
Very much.